We now know for sure that under these men, James Comey and his deputy Andrew McCabe, the FBI interfered in the 2016 election to help Hillary Clinton and hurt Donald Trump. We know that the Trump-Russia collusion investigation was a hoax that should never have happened, that the Justice Department and the FBI failed to follow the law, that the establishment's beloved Mueller report was not an honest investigation, but a partisan cover-up. We now know that Hillary Clinton herself cooked up the entire phony Russia collusion narrative, that in July 2016 she approved it as a distraction from her own rotten scandals. Special Counsel Durham referring to her scheme as the Clinton Plan. Russian intelligence believing that the Clinton Plan aimed to tie Trump to Putin and the Russian hack of the DNC. We also now know that MSNBC's brazenly dishonest and insufferably pompous pundit, then CIA Director John Brennan, briefed President Obama and Vice President Biden, along with then Attorney General Loretta Lynch and other officials, about the Clinton campaign's anti-democratic plot. And not one of them said or did the slightest thing about it, allowing this massive scandal to unfold because it suited their partisan interests. Yes, the exact people who drone on endlessly with their lectures about protecting our democracy, who never stop falsely and corrosively branding their political opponents as threats to democracy. They're the ones plotting and scheming to subvert and undermine democracy at every opportunity. How they love going on and on about autocracy and authoritarian regimes like Erdogan's Turkey, Orban's Hungary. But when you have America's ruling political party colluding with the country's leading law enforcement agency and the apparatus of the security state to swing elections in its favor, how's that any different? Look how shamelessly they pushed all their reckless lies.
This week, we saw cold, hard evidence that the Trump administration and the Trump family have eagerly intended to collude with Russia, a hostile foreign policy to influence an American election.
The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help, and the president made full use of that help. And that is pretty damning.
The Russians were successful. I don't think there's any way to read that report and not conclude they accomplished what they set out to do. They had an objective to sow discord and divisiveness within our society at large and to help Donald Trump, and they succeeded.
Yeah, Russia did sow discord and division, but not half as much as you, Hillary Clinton, as you, Nancy Pelosi, as you, Brennan, Biden, Comey, Schiff. You were the ones who did this to America. And now, in response to the Durham report, the FBI claims its current leadership took, quote, dozens of corrective actions which have now been in place for some time. And that if these had been in place in 2016, the politicization, quote, could have been prevented. Oh, really? Their so-called corrective actions were in place in 2020, yet the politicization just rolled on as if nothing had happened. In 2020, yet again, the FBI colluded with the Democrats, the intelligence agencies, and this time big tech too. Yet